Okay, glorious YouTube viewers. It's like 12:40. I woke up this morning like 11, and I recorded some of this last night, but it's still like destroying my time. My whole weekend's basically been like dedicated to it, kinda. I hate it. I'm gonna eat lunch now, and then I'm gonna get back to it. Nothing beats like frozen Uncrustables. My hair went. My hair goes white in the sun, I guess. Yeah. I've never been like a vlogger before. Excuse me. I've never been like a vlogger before, but well, I'm eating like a burger too while I'm at it. Like the sandwich like that isn't good enough. But one of the big problems with shooting this is the time constraint. I only have 10 minutes, so I can't really mess up. And one of the bigger concerns then is how much can I speed and slow these clips, because this is going to be showed to a class I'm in, and it makes you wonder, how much can you get away with speeding up a clip. I found that you can go 1.2 or 1.3% speed faster, so that usually works. So now that you know a little bit about my life, let me tell you about So now that you know a little bit about my life, let me tell you about me specifically instead of my family. Now, the people everywhere have symbolized me via hammer and tongs. These bad boys work. I'm considered the god of blacksmithing, fire, volcanoes, and craftsmen. The Romans called me Vulcan, like the vulcanization process of rubber. I can bend metal and fire at a whim. I must have a workshop if I'm working so hard. Now that you've seen just a little bit about my life, now let's talk about me. I'm Hephaestus, the god of blacksmithing, metalworking, fire, volcanoes, and craftsmen all around. I'm symbolized via hammer and tongs. These bad boys work. And I must have a workshop and a volcano, of course. And so now that you've heard a little bit about my life, let me tell you about me. I'm Hephaestus, the god of metalworking, fire, volcanoes, and craftsmen, and I'm symbolized all around the world by hammer and tongs. These ones work. And so the Romans called me Vulcan while they were at it, like the vulcanization process of rubber. And I must have a workshop, being a blacksmith and all, you must have a workshop. Where? A volcano. Volcano, of course. And speaking on that, this website, the Greek and Roman mythologies website, says about my forge. Well, what the Greek and Roman mythology website says about my forge. But he has a forge on Mount Mycenios in Lemnos. The latter story gives him one under Aetna in Sicily, and on the sacred island or island of Hephaestus in the Lipari Islands, where he's heard at work. I will redo that. The Greek and Romans mythology website says, but he has a forge on Mount Mycenios in Lemnos, and the latter story gives him one under Aetna in Sicily, on the sacred island or the island of Hephaestus in the Lipari Islands, where he is heard at work. That's basically my symbols and where I work. Okay, so I recorded the second paragraph, and that was a lot easier, I'd say. I still have to do paragraph 1 and then edit everything. But paragraph 3 was a nightmare, and so I'm glad that that's over. This is gonna turn out really sucky. Have you ever been disowned? Have you ever been disowned a second time? I have. Hi, I'm Hephaestus. I'm the god of fire and metalworking. My mom is Hera and my dad is Zeus. Okay, so we have that done. As I stated before, I come from high places. My mom is Hera, my dad is Zeus. You know the drill. I had lame feet when I was born. They call them lame. They're more kind of broken and useless. It hurts. It hurts so much. I was thrown off Mount Olympus. Hera was like, my mom was just don't want him. As I stated before, I come from high places. My dad was Zeus, my mom was Hera. You know the drill. Mom threw me off Mount Olympus, and it just because she just felt like it, I guess. She didn't want me, because I was born with lame feet. As I stated before, I come from high places. My mom is Zeus. As I stated before, I come from high places. My mom's Hera, my dad's Zeus. When I was born, I had lame feet, so mother just sort of threw me off Mount Olympus. Don't know why. When I fell down to the earth, I fell into the ocean, and these sea nymphs took me to their underwater cave, and I was just sort of raised there. That's sort of how I was, brought up by sea nymphs, not, people on Olympus, whatever. I learned metalworking while I was there, which has become a really big hobby of mine. Well, hobby, career, difference. Like I said, I got disowned a second time. How'd that happen? Well, see, the second time, Dionysus, he came down and he got me drunk somehow, and he took me back up to, the Mount Olympus, the party spot, and I was there for a little while, and then, Mom and Dad got into an argument, as I guess they do, and I took Mom's side, and Zeus didn't like that, so I got, thrown off the mountain again. And I'm married to Aphrodite, and about my marriage with Aphrodite, it's here's a quote from Duxter's, of all places. It says, Zeus arranged the marriage of Aphrodite and Hephaestus. He did this mostly to stop the other male gods from fighting over Aphrodite. That didn't work. Anyways, I have 3 children. Thalia, Euclelia, and King Ircantonius of Athens. I butchered their names. I don't really talk to them, so I'm not really gonna mention them. I shaved before I filmed this, and I sort of cut my hair a little bit. Maybe I grew it out. I cut my hair. It's usually longer, and I'm sort of unkempt. I brushed it this morning. I brushed it this morning for all of you. And I usually have a beard, but I shaved because, I got to make a good impression. I got to sell you on this, and I got to ensure your vote. Vote for me. Like I said, I can't, like I said, I come from high places. My mom is Hera, my dad is Zeus, and when I was born, I had lame feet. They were broken, and so Hera just sort of threw me off Mount Olympus. I was going to die, but then I fell into this ocean, and these sea nymphs took me into their cave, and they raised me up. While I was there, I also learned, metalworking, which has become something I've really taken to. I mentioned before I got disowned a second time. How'd that happen? I'll tell you. So Dionysus decided to, try and bring me back, after Zeus figured out I existed. And so, Dionysus gets me drunk. I'm going back up there. I'm all, crazed out of my mind. I don't recall the entire story, drunk and all that. But I was there again for a little while, and then mom and dad got into an argument. Mom and dads do that. Everybody does that. And I took my mom's side, and she was appreciative of that, and dad not so much. I got thrown off Olympus again, and I just sort of went back to my room like some rebellious teenager, and I metalworked instead of blaring punk music. I just metalworked, and I'm married to Aphrodite. Oh, and Duxters has something to say about that marriage, if you couldn't tell already. Zeus arranged the marriage of Aphrodite and Hephaestus. He did this mostly to stop the other male gods from wanting Aphrodite. This didn't work. I've been cheated on multiple times. I have multiple kids. I have three kids. I have Thalia, Euclea, and King Erectonius of Athens. I don't really know them. I'm a bad dad, I know. Yeah, they're just sort of not in my life. I like to joke that my son is my anvil. It's a little sad of a joke. I shaved. I shaved my face. I don't have a beard. Normally I have a beard, and I actually combed my hair too, and I took a shower. So I'm looking good. Vote for me. Now that my tale is told and done, and you have heard everything from my horrible upbringing to the fact I have cyclopses within my workshop. Now that my tale is told and done, and you have seen the fact that my dedication, my skills, and my unwavering dedication to overcome everything, you can now definitively say, as well as I, that I should be the best Greek figure. But don't let me stop you. Heck. Now that my tale is told and over, and you've seen the way that I've overcome adversity, the way that I've been a hardworking person, and the strengths that I have, firebending included, you and I can both definitively say and wrap a bow up upon this that I should be the best Greek figure. But this isn't a proper advertisement without a sales pitch. So now I'm asking you, the viewers, yes, all of you, when you see a spoon, I want you to think of me, because I am the god of metalworking. The person that made that spoon, I inspired them. Remember Excalibur with King Arthur? I did that, man. I did all of that. Now that my tale is told and done, and you have sat through this entire video, and you've seen the way that I have such dedication to my craft, the way I've overcome adversity, the way I've Now that my tale has been told, I hope you understand why I proclaimed the position of best Greek figure. I have a lot of skills. I have overcome adversity. And I'm dedicated. I have the traits that every leader desires, and that's why you should vote me. But even if you were to disregard everything, think about the writer. Think about the warrior. Think about the house you are sitting in right now. Think about the utensils and the silverware within your cabinet drawers. Who made them? Me. I did. I did all that. Every time you write, every time you use a pen, one of those fancy pens, man, me. Every time you think of Alexander the Great, me. The horse armor, me. I have been there and I have done it. So next time you're sitting in your house, remember the fact that there are nails in there. Nails that I painstakingly crafted with my hands. And vote me for president. Now that my tale is told and done and you've sat through this entire video, I want you to just remember some things. Remember how I am a skilled... Now that my tale is told and done and you've sat through this entire video... Now that my tale is told and done and you have sat through this entire video, I want you to remember 3 things as you are leaving. I've overcome adversity. I have the dedication that you are looking for. And I have the skills. Those 3 things can make any leader great. Truly so. And that's why I proclaim the best Greek figure. But even if you don't necessarily agree that I am the best Greek figure, just think about your house, the classroom that you're sitting in, the steel foundries, everything. It all relates back to me. If it has something to do with metal, it's me. If it has something to do with fire, it's most likely connected back to me. I'm the god of craftsmen. Okay? And that's why you should vote Hephaestus. 2024. Now that my tale is told and done and you've sat through this entire video, I want you to remember 3 things. I have the dedication. I have overcome the adversity. And I do have the skills. If I don't know something, I have the dedication to learn that something. And I think these 3 traits are built upon any good leader. So, that's why I proclaim best Greek figure. But even if you were to disregard all that, just think about this. Think about this for a second. Alexander the Great, your favorite writer. Excalibur, your favorite movies, cameras, televisions, games. What do they all have? Metal. In some way or another, they all have metal. And what am I? The god of metalworking. That's why you should really think about what you're choosing. Every time you eat a bowl of cereal, it's me. I am the spoon in some way or another. Vote Hephaestus, people, god of craftsmen, 2024.